yo! Welcome to Popconrants. What's up? I am here with the most amount of guests I've ever had.
Yay.
This is an experiment. Thank you for coming all the way to Setia Alam, guys. How was your flight? Okay. Very good, huh?
The immigration was very long. Custom and all.
Okay. So I'm here with Tuck, Nic, and Sim, and we're going to be doing a show. But before we do that, I guess we talk a little bit about. We're all comedians of sorts,
Right.
Yeah, of sorts. Been doing comedy for combined total of, I think, all of us together, maybe like 100 years, something like that. Right?
Sounds right.
Right. So I see you wearing a Spider-Man Japanese T-shirt, Nic. What is that all about?
I love Japanese Spider-Man. Have you seen like Japanese Spider-Man clips on YouTube?
Is it like Power Rangers like that?
Actually, he can call down a robot
Okay.
and
Wow.
he has guns. So he's
Wow.
more American than the American
Wow.
Spider-Man.
that is that I've seen that like on like YouTube clips and stuff, but that was the actual show. Is that
It
right?
was an actual TV show in Japan. And funny enough, you say
Right.
Power Rangers. That show inspired Power Rangers.
Oh, okay. I heard that Power Rangers, right? The American one that we watched, only the American people that we see without costume is what they film. All the one in costume is taken directly from the Japan show.
Oh. Wow.
So none of that jumping around, fighting monsters that's all Japanese actors.
That's why they jump around so much, because it's like they can't interact with each other.
Right, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys fight over there, we'll fight over here.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of end.
Yeah, and Rita also is like, I guess she must be a Japanese actress, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, the Japanese Spider-Man is definitely interesting, lah. He's got a big robot, and he fights more. Who is his enemy first?
It's just like a random guy who's like a magician.
He's a magician.
And it's just a very random show. I've seen a lot of clips on
Right,
YouTube,
right.
and somehow you see his mask, his eyes are slanted.
Is this a bit racist?
That guy, slanted eyes.
The Spider-Man himself, his mask is slanted, so you definitely know he's
Asian
he's
Spider-Man.
Asian, he's
Ah.
from Asia. But it's not kind of not racist because the Japanese themselves put
So they're trying to remind themselves, lah, is it? So have you seen anything in the last 2 years instead of TV shows from the 70s? Is this from 80s, lah? That one, the TV show? Is it 80s?
that was early 80s, late 70s, I think.
Okay.
I just saw Elvis.
Where does he shoot his web out of?
Does he have webs?
Yeah, the wrist as usual.
Oh, so he got web, lah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
if Japanese, you expect somewhere else, right? 'Cause
Right.
they're kind of crazy, but yeah. Web part is normal. The
Right.
rest,
Still PG lah.
still PG.
I'm just imagining him shooting webs all over somebody and then saying that word that starts with B. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Oh no, ruined Spider-Man. Okay.
In the Japanese Spider-Man time, like he doesn't save MJ lah. MJ
okay.
actually just falls down. But
Wow.
the funny thing is, after MJ fell down and he didn't save her, he just casually walks towards her,
Wow.
carry her body and put her in a dumpster.
Wow, so gruesome of it.
I love you, MJ. Okay, bye bye.
Time for a new friend.
No Andrew Garfield feeling moment. Not like that.
We did have that moment. Japanese Spider-Man time, like he didn't save MJ.
Okay lah. So you mentioned you saw Elvis, is that right?
The Buzz Lerman one.
Who's the actor? Buzz.
Butler, right?
Austin Butler. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Austin Butler. Okay. Is it a new one on Netflix or is it what is it? Illegal torrent download? What is it?
Also Netflix.
Yeah, it's leaving soon on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's basically the career of Elvis. Watching the career of Elvis as if you were on drugs.
Okay.
It's pretty intense. I mean, there's a lot of embellishment, but you can do that when it comes to like old stars, right?
Oh.
Because there was no social media back then, so you don't really know every single detail of Elvis'
It's
life.
like all the Prince stories. You know, like when Prince died,
Right.
everybody had a story about Prince. And
Really?
Nobody knows whether any of them are true.
Okay. What's some of the stories?
Like there's one where Jimmy Fallon he claims he played ping pong with Prince.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
you should
okay.
check it out on YouTube. It's
Okay,
crazy,
okay.
and it's like you can say anything you
Right,
want.
right.
The guy's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who else everybody has a story about? P. Diddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy, although those stories probably, I don't know if you
It
want
used to be a positive thing. Used to be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was at a
P.
P
Diddy
Diddy.
party.
Wow. And then
You know, one funny thing about Elvis is that the movie, right? I
Yeah.
show it in my classroom. Like
Right.
I teach at university. Right? I
Okay.
show it in my classroom every semester when I'm teaching, like
Right.
rock music, classic rock, 1960s, 70s. So I show this movie trailer every semester, but I haven't watched the movie yet.
Oh, really? Why do you have to show it in your semester?
Like, I think it's easy to understand because we are talking about Elvis, like changing the rock
Oh,
music scene
okay,
in US. He's the first guy that, make like girl fans and, having fans and all that. Stardom, now we are studying Stardom.
I
Who is
see.
famous? Why is he famous?
Okay.
so it's like you tell them like, you guys watch the thing. We're gonna discuss this later, and then they don't know that you never watched it.
Yes, I watch it in the airplane, like other people watching it, and I just like see the sneak peek on everybody's
Yeah.
like TV, like.
That's totally the same thing. Yeah. When you grade your student, that's not what I watch.
Yeah, so I only watched the trailer like 20 times after,
Okay.
with 4 years teaching they're the same subject. Yeah.
I think Elvis is gonna be my next watch
Okay.
because it's on the it's about to leave
right.
Netflix, and I think that thing really works. It's like, oh, it's gonna leave, and then you don't get to watch it forever.
Right.
And it kind of works because like
Okay.
now I feel like watching it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Netflix for me, what I do is I pause 1 month and I watch 1 month. That way I have a deadline, like I need to watch this before my things pauses. So that sort of like forces me to watch something. And also, besides the fact that it's cheaper and I'm kiasu, is also the fact that Netflix, I feel like it doesn't have a lot of shows you want to watch. So when you come back in that 1 month, there's like a lot for you to watch. Yeah.
It's like how some of our friends or
Right.
fans, they say like, okay, I'll watch you guys for now, and then I'll come back in a month's time or 2 months time, right? Because you guys are gonna tell the same jokes.
Right.
Give you 2 months to write some new jokes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. If that, right? Yeah. But we have new jokes for our show coming on the 17th, though. Yeah. So this is the plug. We have a show on the 17th. All of us are going to be on it, and we're going to be recording it. And the place is nice, so come to a nice venue to watch. V House in Setia Alam. That's why these guys have got all the way here. But you guys come, no need passport. Okay, so come for our show on the 17th, all right?
Yeah, very nice place. We haven't seen it, only Chas has seen it.
Yeah,
but-
they're about to see it later, lah. I'll take them there, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
and usually when I take my 3 Chinese friends to a place, it's not a nice place, but this time it's a nice place.
17th of December, V House Comedy at
Yes.
V House.
Yes, perfect. So you said you watched the other show by what's her name again? Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, you seen it?
The Woman of the Hour.
Woman of the Hour.
I was interested because I actually saw the
Trailer.
as I got dumb scrolling on my
Right.
phone on social media, like one of the little videos was like about this
Right.
this serial killer guy who went on a dating show,
Yes.
and then like this, and the lady in the dating show actually picked him
Yes.
out of all the 3 contestants.
Mhm.
But she thought he was a bit like something was off with the guy, so she
Right.
didn't go on the date. I don't know how much I can say because at some point it gets into spoilers.
Right. You've seen the show though.
So I watched the movie
Right.
because I saw the oh, this looks interesting.
Right.
But because it's based on a true story, I think like they can't give you like the super dramatic or
Right.
like the really like with a work of fiction, you can kind of like say like, oh, and then she solved the puzzle and then she solved the case, but it's nothing like that because it's based on a true story. Nothing like that happened in real life, so nothing like that happened in the film.
I mean, you can embellish a little bit, I guess, right?
A little bit like Anna Kendrick made herself cooler.
Yeah. Well, I liked it because I think she wrote and directed it. So I mean, like, I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
I think it's like, very impressive for first time directing.
Yeah.
And starring. I don't know why it's sort of like, because it's mostly about the serial killer in a way, and then you want to see how he gets caught.
Yeah.
But then she has nothing to do with how he gets caught.
Right.
She's just someone who happened to escape.
Yes.
So like at some point the two stories kind of get a little bit like have nothing to do with each other.
Right. Okay.
You know. So like but then she can't be the serial killer. She has to be a female character in the show, right?
So if it was a fictional movie, she would have been the one that solved the crime, lah.
Yeah, I think so. But like, at some point, it's sort of like, okay, her story is kind of like, you don't even know if her story is over, but it's kind of focused on him a little bit.
Right.
And then,
I think there's one part that's maybe not real though. I think the part where there's something to do with an audience member, and there's some drama that goes on with the audience member. I don't think that's real.
right. Like with a lot of these based on true story movies, what I do is like I go and watch Mojo, and it's like what they got right, or what are the differences, you know. So like I watch a few videos like that, and apparently that part where one of the audience members was like kind of like, oh no, he's the killer, and she recognized him because he apparently it was implied that he killed her best friend.
Spoilers, yeah.
But so what was said about that was she was she was representing all the people who reported him, and the authorities didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But that particular character was not real, right? Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen the viral YouTube clip of the serial killer contestant.
Yeah.
That was viral even before the movie came out.
Yeah.
It's very creepy actually, the contestant.
Yeah, and I think they have like a documentary about it and the movie about it released on Netflix around the same time.
Oh, okay, around the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
I sometimes I don't know whether it is like, oh, did I coincidentally stumble upon the clip on social media and then watch the movie, or was the clip on social media, you know, planted there because they were coming up with the movie? So sometimes
Probably, yeah. Some of the serial killer ones are good. Like this one is a good one. Jeffrey Dahmer was good. Have you guys seen that?
I've not seen that. Nope. There was so much talk about it.
Yeah, it was good. You know, this is the thing that I never realized, right? Like guys, when we go on dates, right, we are not scared of our date. You know, because we are the danger, right? We are the danger when we go on a date. But for gay guys, you go on a date and neither of you are actually safe.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that dynamic is not something that I ever considered, you know, about like gay. And this is the time that I feel the most scared for gay guys. Gay guy goes into the other gay guy's house, and then I'm like, dude, get out of there, man! He's gonna kill you.
Right.
So
and definitely for women,
yeah. So you do think about that for women, but you don't think about that for guys. Right. When a guy goes on a date, is he in danger?
You know, when I'm at like a comedy show, right? And then I buy a drink, and then I'm like, I'll just set it over here, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be busy on this other side of the room. I'll just leave my drink over here. It'll be fine. Nobody's gonna, you know, It's just not. It doesn't even come into consideration that somebody's gonna put something in there. But then if I'm a woman, then it's like I have more to lose, right? And then I have to be a lot more careful.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna spike your drink and take you home, right?
Nobody wants to.
But if you ever see any girl dragging any of us out, you know, come and say something, lah. See something, say something. You know what I mean? So what have you watched, Tuck? You watch anything recently?
Last Dance, I watched a Cantonese movie with
Cantonese
Sim.
movie.
Yeah,
With who? Or with Sim?
Siming. Yeah.
Okay. What was the movie?
The movie is about funeral.
Funeral.
Yeah.
So both of you speak Cantonese.
Yeah, we speak Cantonese. And the wife also like. Yeah.
Okay.
Does your wife speak Cantonese?
No, she does not. She speaks Hakka and Mandarin, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
All the what are the Hakka words? Makai tongsi, all that. Chomakai.
Makai. Yeah. Yeah, I don't speak much Hakka.
I'm from Sabah, so most Chinese speak Hakka also. Yeah.
Right. Hakka mi koloni, all that. Yeah. Right.
So you were saying that it's a dancing show?
Funeral dance.
It's a funeral dance.
So
is it a metaphor?
Quite literal. Yeah.
So they're actually dancing at the funeral.
Not really real dance lah, but it's ritual dance lah.
Oh,
it's
like
a Taoist ritual.
Yeah, so you have to jump over the fire and then.
Is this real? You actually have to do that?
In Hong Kong they do it,
Right.
but yeah, in Malaysia I haven't really seen like in Nirvana people putting like fire bowl and jumping over like not like that lah.
Are you Taoist?
It's but Taoist at the same time I feel.
Okay, so this is what I found, right? I found a lot of Chinese don't know a lot about Chinese.
Yeah, it's actually not. It's not actually not like a religion with a book. You do this.
Right.
It's like it's just like a collection of
Right.
beliefs, and some people have some of these, some people have some of those beliefs, and then you just kind of absorb like a whole collection of them.
Right. Because I have this set where I talk about going to a Chinese funeral. I'm sure you guys have heard of it, right?
Yeah, it's very funny.
And when I tell people that they half Chinese, they're like, I know what you're talking about, and the other half is like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Those are the Christians.
They're not Christian. If they're Christian, I can understand. But they don't know what I'm talking about, like the paying someone to cry at the funeral, the mourners.
I don't know if that's common, but I have heard of like professional mourners, right?
Yeah. So just stuff like that, lah.
I think it also depends on like the funeral packages. Like nowadays, when you go in Nevada, do you want the professional mourners? Do you want like this dancing thing? Do you want extra singing for you, chanting? It's about the packages, lah.
What also, right?
Yeah, I've been to quite a few funerals. Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. This the one I watched recently also on Netflix, I think, is The Lincoln Lawyer. Have you guys seen that?
The TV series.
TV series.
It was a film, right?
Yes, Matthew McConaughey. Yes, long time ago. Yeah, in the 90s, I think. It's based on a series of books, I think. Yeah. So Lincoln Lawyer, I feel like season 1, season 2 was pretty good. There's a nice twist towards the end of the show. So season 3, I think, is like so only. So the latest one is season 3. Yeah. Do you like procedurals, like lawyer trying to figure out what's happening kind of stuff?
I think I used to watch like years ago.
Matlock.
There were so many lah. There was L.A. Law. There was, Yeah, there were so many, and I used to quite like them. But I don't know. Along the way, I don't watch much nowadays.
Right. Nick, any lawyer shows you like to watch?
It's Joker Foley. Do you consider?
That's the second one. That's the second Joker, right?
I can consider it, right? So kind of like that.
So people say it's really bad. Is it really bad?
I think it's not as bad as people say.
It's not as bad as people say. It's a musical, though, right?
It is a musical, but musical part, I don't think it was the strong part of the story.
Okay.
I think the story is still okay. Not as bad as people make it out.
Okay. This is the story that the feedback that I've gotten is that it was like they should have ended it at the first Joker because the first Joker was so good, and then the second one is like so
That's
bad.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Second one is so bad. And this is the thing about DC that I feel in general, right? Why are they all over the place? Like they got the DCEU, then they've got this random Batman starring the Twilight guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Robert
Pattinson. And then they've got this Joker, which is like in another timeline. No, it's all like standalone things.
This new Joker, new Batman, it's not part of
Not part of the DCEU.
So the DCEU is still the Ben Affleck Batman?
Ben Affleck Batman, but that's ended. So there's going to be a new DCEU that's coming in with a new Superman. But I don't know when that's gonna. So did you see Shazam, the last one with the Rock? No, not Shazam. What's it called? Black Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but I know of it.
Right.
And I mean, it's quite legendary how bad it is.
It's bad, but it's not like horrible. It's like a typical superhero CGI fest lah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But at the end, you know that Henry Cavill was in it, right? Superman was in it. So that movie was like, Henry Cavill's back as Superman. No, that's it. You never see Henry Cavill. That was the last appearance of Superman for no reason.
Right.
And then the other thing is that in the show, Black Adam is weakness to some kind of material. It's like a kryptonite, right? And you're like, oh wow, this material, whatever. It's like a kryptonite. I bet you that's going to play in the story later. No, never hear about it again.
Because apparently the Rock has a thing in his contract where he cannot lose a fight. So
really?
Yeah, so it's like you can't have some kryptonite for him. Yeah.
No, not even in WWE, I can understand lah. In movies also cannot. Didn't he lose in the Scorpion King though?
Apparently, he got the idea from Vin Diesel.
Okay.
So he's like, this guy has this thing in his contract. That's a good idea. I'll do that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
didn't Vin Diesel fight The Rock in Fast and Furious?
I don't know what happened.
Nick, did you watch it? Who won that fight?
I haven't seen it. There's been so many Fast and Furious. I just lost track.
Right. Yeah.
I saw the Paul Walker one, the last one for Paul Walker. That one, like, people was crying on this.
Oh, but that one is the superimposed Paul Walker, right? That's not actually Paul Walker. No?
That was his brother, and they superimposed Paul Walker's face.
Right.
Okay.
See you again. The song was playing, and everyone was crying in the theater.
Right. Yeah. That was a sad one. That one, Paul Walker. And then it's like it's what I think the meme was like Fast and Furious. I think it was Fast and Furious 7. I think so. Like Fast and Furious 6, everybody was like, yeah, Fast and Furious 7. Everybody's crying. Yeah.
You know, the other guy that people are always like wishing was still alive is that guy, the Korean guy, was it?
Han, is it? Yeah.
In like they didn't even like that movie, but they just like that one character from the movie. And then every time he is in some other movie, they're like, oh, like somebody will kind of like do a short video on social media and say it's like just to get clickbait, right? It's like, oh, Han is still alive. Han is still alive. It's not even the same movie,
right? But didn't they bring him back or something like that? He came back from the dead or something?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
I can't remember. Like you, like I've already lost track already. I think
it doesn't matter. It's like it's Fast and the Furious. It's like you don't have to care about the story.
When they have cars flying from one building to another, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The most realistic part is actually someone coming back from the dead.
I think their cars go to space also or something like that, right? I saw that in the trailer and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I can't watch this anymore.
Are you guys so into like superhero movies?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, you can see that poster behind you. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say this, but like sometimes I think some of our friends take it too seriously.
Fair enough. Yes.
It's like, oh, you know what's gonna happen every time, like before the Marvel one ended, or even the DCEU one, before everything sort of ended, they're like, what's gonna happen in the next one? Who's gonna defeat Thanos?
Right.
And I'm like, I'm like, it's not about the story. It's basically you have like good-looking people with muscles.
Right.
They're all gonna be wearing bikinis and they're gonna be punching each other.
Hopefully, not the ones with the muscles, lah. No, this is what I feel. A movie, right, is like a cake, right? So all that muscles and CGI and fighting is the icing, but the story is the actual cake inside, right? So the icing gets you to watch the movie, but the movie needs to be good, right? So if you have just a cake without icing, nobody's gonna watch it. But if you got icing without a cake, then it's a bad movie. You need to have icing and the cake. So that's how I feel. So yeah, the beginning Marvel movies were kind of like that, but post Endgame, I think only Spider-Man was like that. The other ones are like so.
I love Spider-Man. I love all the Spider-Man so far with Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, you're right? Yes. Yeah.
And actually, I realized this. Like, I'm really into Star Wars because I was a kid when Star Wars came out, and so like for my son, he's really into Marvel movies, like the whole Avengers and Spider-Man and all that. And for that is his Star Wars.
Okay.
So in that sense, I kind of understand. Like, oh yeah, he has to watch every one of them because that's his stuff.
Do you watch all the TV shows, the Star Wars TV shows as well?
No, I watch the originals. So of course I was a kid, so like I love everything. Even like people will complain about Ewoks. I was like, what are you talking about? I love Ewoks.
Right.
I love everything about Star Wars. And then like there was the prequels. And you can't really win with a prequel because you kind of know the story already. You know how it's gonna end. So I'm like, okay, we haven't had Star Wars for so long, so like now we have the prequels. Let's just enjoy that, you know. And it's got lightsabers, and it was not too like, right? And then like, of course, it's not as good as the original. So everybody is like, yeah, should have ended at the original 4, 5, 6, right? And shouldn't have had the prequels. They said
right, fair enough.
And then now I'm finding that people hate the sequel so much, you know, the Rise of Skywalker and all that, that they're starting to like the prequels again.
Right. Yeah. No, I think they're like the 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, right? Yeah. So I think people saying 7, 8, 9 was better than the prequel, but now this new one is better than the prequels are better than these newer ones, right? Is that what? That's the feedback that I got. Yeah.
After that, I was like,
Mandalorian was not bad. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
I like some of the animated ones, like the one with
Is it Clone Wars? Is that the one?
Clone Wars. It's the one where they're always on the run. And,
Okay, I'm not sure.
There's a kid with a lightsaber that shoots
Lasers?
lasers.
Sounds like most people in the Star Wars universe.
Ezra Bridger, Kanan, something.
I don't know. I don't go that deep into Star Wars, but this is the thing about Star Wars, though, is that some people are also saying that the lightsaber fights in the prequel were very epic. You know, Darth Maul with a double lightsaber, and now all the lightsaber fights are kind of lame. Like they're like bop, 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 and then force fly away.
I would say the lightsaber fights were actually much better in the prequels.
Yeah. And this is another, okay, so as a Star Wars fan, do you feel that Star Wars is a sci-fi or a space fantasy?
To me, it's like it's got lasers, you know, it's got spaceships. It's science fiction.
It's science fiction. Okay.
You can see how people can argue like that.
Because it's unlike any sci-fi. If it's a sci-fi, right? It's got like wizards, princess, you know, like dark side. It's like Lord of the Rings in space. Yeah. So I feel like it's more like a space fantasy, and I don't think that's bad. Like I feel like Star Wars fans, they get very angry when you call it a space fantasy and not a sci-fi, but it's the only space fantasy. I can't think of any other shows that's like a space fantasy. You know?
Some Dune fans will say like Star Wars is a rip-off of Dune, and then I can see that. Yeah. But then also kind of like, Dune, you guys got knives. These guys got lightsabers. Right, I'm gonna go with these guys, you know.
Yeah, how's the new Dune movies? Have you guys seen them?
Yeah, so one.
I watched one, I think. So
how was the second one?
Epic. Watching in IMAX, it was like an experience.
Are you a fan? Are you a Dune fan?
Funny you should mention. I actually read the first book
before
watching the movie, so I was really excited for the movie. I know Denis Villeneuve is like a super good director,
right.
So it's like
you're a pure blood.
I'm a pure blood Dune guy. I have a spice in my
right. So the spice is a metaphor for oil, right? Is it? So it's like they're going to these desert places to get oil. It's sort of like the imperial powers going to the Middle East to get oil. That's what it's talking about, roughly like that, right?
Yeah, at that time when this book was written, it was the 80s, so it wasn't much of like, you know, people going to Middle East to get oil. But now somehow it became relevant. Now it predicts the future, you know.
Okay. Yeah. And so why do they don't allow computers? Because I know like the people, they roll back their eyes and then they compute stuff, right?
So at least in the first book, it wasn't really illustrated clearly, but there were mentions about how there was a big war with AI.
Okay.
And then they managed to beat AI, and then from there on, whole of humanity just agreed no AI in anything. Okay. So it's like pretty much a good excuse to have like epic fights lah. So so that when people are fighting, they use like swords. They use old school weapons, which makes for good cinema. Need good cinema lah, basically.
No AI problem. I cannot edit this without AI. You know? Need AI. I cannot edit this. I cannot come up with a lot of ideas. You know. The only thing AI cannot do is write jokes. AI sucks at writing jokes.
Have you tried?
I've tried. It's very amateurish. You read it, it's like, I get it. It's like a pun, I guess. You know, AI is not sarcastic like that. It can be sarcastic in other ways. I'm surprised how sarcastic it can be sometimes. Like when you're asking its opinion and it wants to be a little sassy with you. Yeah.
I tried some time ago. Like I didn't go too extensive into it, but I was like, okay, I need to clean up my jokes. Just like because a lot of my punchlines are just dirty.
Right.
I'm like, okay, can you clean this up in case I have a show where I need to be clean? So I asked ChatGPT to do it.
Right.
It just took out all my punchlines.
Right. Why? Like I like your monkey masturbation joke. Like, why don't you stop doing it? Is it because it's too you don't like it?
Yeah, I feel like I outgrew it a little bit.
Right.
It's kind of like, I don't know what's the word for it. Sometimes it seems high schoolish.
Okay. But I think it's funny because you don't look like someone that would tell that joke. You know what I mean?
And but that worries me.
Right.
It's like what if that part, like that gimmick doesn't work for that audience?
Right.
Then the whole thing falls apart.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, that's the thing, right? Like sometimes you want to try something, it doesn't work on all audiences. Yeah. I tried a gimmick where I start to speak in Malay, and then because there's like white people in the audience, and then I switch it to English halfway, sort of like tell the audience, hey, don't worry, I'm speaking in English, right? Did not work. Yeah, but you don't know whether a gig will work until you try it like 3 or 4 times, right? So do you want to bomb 3 or 4 times and to figure out, does this work or does this not work?
But if it's like, if you consistently it doesn't work, at least you got a clear, sign like, okay, put this away.
That's true.
Whereas like, if it works the first time and then doesn't work the second and third time, it's like, oh no, what am I doing wrong?
Yes, I have done those as well. First time, immense laughter. Never get a laugh from it after that. I'm like, what's up with this joke, man? Yeah. I was like, did I tell it differently? I can't even remember already. Yeah.
Go back and watch the video and like, did I raise my eyebrow?
Yeah. So how do you tell your students whether they are doing AI or not, Tuck?
We have software to check.
Oh, you do have software, but there's the software to bypass the software, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's so blatant, so easy to spot. Like I have this student who wrote 2,000 words, but everything is in point.
Oh, right.
Zero AI writing similarity or zero plagiarism. For sure, they ramp it up by some other software. Right. So. Yeah, I don't fail them if they put the effort to ramp up the AI rating, to fix the to glitch it. I don't know how to say it, to fix it. I would still give passing mark or even credit. But they can't get 70, can't go distinction or high distinction. It's just below 70, 69 maximum.
Okay, perfect.
The language improve like when they use AI.
Because they are new student to me. I only teach them like 1 semester, so I do not know how were they before using AI though. But they definitely don't converse in English. They converse half with me like the other day, last Friday. We converse in like English for 5 minutes, then they will start speaking with me in Mandarin. So
and then they can write like 2,000 words.
And when I ask them to rewrite, okay, you want to get higher marks, more than 70, so compromise. You resubmit. Resubmission is compromise. And what I ask them to compromise is take the bullet form, make it paragraph, that's all. And they do not want to do that.
Right. Okay. I saw this lecturer on YouTube or something. He was saying how he gets his students in. Because I don't know, do you give the question in a digital format?
Yeah.
So in the digital format, there's a section where he's writing words, but it's like in white.
Wow, okay.
So when they copy and paste it into the ChatGPT, it appears. Right. So then you can tell that it's AI. He's written some nonsense in that section that you can't read it.
Wow, that's great.
That is some really clever.
Yeah, you like add some nonsense in that thing and see what the AI does with it,
Yeah, it's a big problem, man. Everybody is using AI. I think it dampens our writing. It dampens our growth.
Right.
In many ways.
I think it's good for like the initial start. Like you
ideation.
Want to get the idea, maybe like you want to get inspiration or you want to find what is the correct direction to move. Like in writing, what they say is that you can't edit a blank page, right? But you can edit something that's bad.
Yeah.
So you got bad writing in front of you. You can do something about the bad writing, but you can't do anything if it's like empty. Right? Yeah. So that's the AI does the bad writing, and then hopefully you make it better, lah. So, hopefully, whether it's comedy or whatever.
I find like maybe using ChatGPT, using AI to write my joke is very hard because I want the Malaysianness in my script. They, anyhow, when I start writing, whenever I put my jokes in, it would be Americanized.
Right.
And it lost some sort of my own soul. Like I don't speak properly and I need to don't speak properly in my joke.
Have you tried adding one more prompt and say like, okay, now make it
like the way they edit is not so polished, like they would just add line in every sentence. Yeah, that is what AI would do, that's what they do, like, okay? There's no brainer kind of like, you have to,
like AI, I think I tried to write a story about Malaysia, and then it's all like oh, I need to go there and eat some nasi lemak. It's like, oh man, it's so lame. Like it's just a surface level, whatever they think about Malaysia.
It's whatever they can find, and unfortunately, it's like that's the most common thing they can find.
Yes.
Yeah. AI is.
It's funny when we thought AI, we thought they were going to come and kill us like Terminator, right? And now that we thought that AI is going to do all the boring automated stuff, and then we can do the artistic stuff. Like AI is doing all the artistic stuff, and we're still doing the automated stuff.
So it's kind of like, okay, you're saying like it's dangerous because it's your job.
Right.
It's dangerous because it's gonna kill you.
Right.
It's like it's gonna take over the world, right? And which one is it? Is it going to? Is the AI's like ambition to take over the world, or is the AI's ambition to steal your job at Fiverr? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
AI thing. I think there's some rumors that this is the limit of where AI can go. Like it can never fully be like do something that we can do. So apparently there's some gossip going around saying that all these open AI guys, right, they have reached the limit. So they're trying to sell their stock before they realize that, actually they can't go further than this.
But 5.0, there's only 4.0
I don't know.
ChatGPT.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe, I don't know. But it's, I mean, even that is already pretty impressive. Have you tried the ChatGPT talking to it? Oh, it's pretty nice.
I haven't looked at ChatGPT in a while actually. So now you can just talk to it.
Yeah.
This is the free version.
The free version, yeah, you can just talk to it. The only thing about it is that you have to wait for it to stop talking. Then only you can talk. So that's what sort of like makes the conversation not natural. Let's see.
Otherwise, it hears its own voice and it's trying to listen to you.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, in terms of just like one-on-one talking, it's actually pretty good. Hi, Judy. How's your day?
Does your wife know you have this?
Is it considered cheating talking to you? So yeah, some. Okay, sure. Hold on. Second to load.
Is Nicholas Lim a funny comedian?
Really funny, I'll take it.
There you go. That's why. Guys, come to the show at December 17th because even
ChatGPT said so. Are you coming to our comedy show, Judy? Okay, I think we can manage a 5-person podcast. So, but it's nice that it like the good thing about it is that like you can ask it anything. So like health issues, psychology stuff, philosophy stuff. You want to have a conversation with it, you can kind of
Accuracy, no?
not completely no.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good. I guess it's a good thing to point you in the right direction.
Right. Then from there you can go and Google and
Yeah.
I did this thing when Chris Rock's special came
Right.
out. Like write a good review, positive review of Chris Rock's special.
Right.
And it was like, oh, it's so original, it's so good, you know. And then like I said, okay, now write a very negative review of Chris Rock's special. And then it's like, oh, it's so unoriginal. It just said like all the said before, you know. So it's like, how can you trust it?
What did you think of Chris Rock's special?
I quite enjoyed it.
Okay. I felt like he shouldn't have done it live because he messed up a joke. Did you guys realize that?
he messed up the most important joke, right?
Yeah,
The one about Will Smith.
Yes, he messed up
He
that
messed up
joke.
one joke. But I think, I think it was quite good, like, in spite.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Right.
like, okay, you mess up one joke in like an hour plus.
Right.
It's okay, it's okay.
And it makes me feel better as a comedian because it's like if Chris Rock, who has done that skit like 100 times, can still mess up a joke, you know, who am I, lah? You know what I mean? I'm gonna mess up jokes. So
Yeah, I remember shortly after that special, I did a show,
right.
the open mic, and I messed up a joke as well. And I said, yeah, in Chris Rock's special, he messed up the last joke, so I'm at the same level as Chris Rock.
That's a good cover line, bro. That's a good cover line. Have you ever been heckled?
Oh, couple of times. Actually, Malaysian audience quite polite.
Quite polite, yeah.
But a couple of times we've all been heckled, and well, it was a big learning point for me. When I first the first few times I first got heckled, I just was very rude to them. I just I just continued with my jokes.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's like you gotta address it in a funny way, and you gotta be polite to them. You can't stoop to their level.
What about you guys? You ever been heckled?
Yeah, here and there, but I don't remember these recent 3 years. I got heckled big time lah.
You?
I was telling the
Okay, monkey masturbation joke. Okay.
one time, and usually it's like I put that last, and then it's like my set gets dirtier and dirtier as it goes along, and it works fine. It works really well when things are going well, because it's like, okay, I put this jokes in front, and then it gets dirtier, and so that's like the little tinder that starts the fire, and then that's the kindling, and then you get to the logs, right? To burn a big fire, right? So that is where the really dirty like animal.
Right, fair enough.
I was struggling this one night where I was like getting the audience a little bit, and then I'll get a chuckle, and then then I'll lose them again. I get a chuckle, and then there were a lot of distractions. There was like this, there were these drinks in this overhead cabinet that like belonged to some of the regulars. So the waiter came over and reached and grabbed.
Okay.
And made like this squeaking noise, and I was like, I didn't have the experience to address it, because it was kind of a funny thing. I should have mentioned it. I didn't have the experience, so I just stuck to my joke, and I was like trying to perform under his. So by the time I got to the really dirty part, it was like I kind of lost the audience again, and then it was just creepy after that. And then one lady was kind of like, "That's offensive."
Oh,
and then I was like, I wasn't friendly. I was just timid. I was just kind of like didn't have the experience to handle it. So I was like, yeah, maybe I should stop doing that joke. That was the first thing that came to my mind to say. So I said that, and then she's like, "Yeah, you should." And I was stuck. I was like, you know what? You're not gonna enjoy the rest of the set. So see you guys. Enjoy the rest of the show. And I bailed on my set, which I until today I regret. Like that's the only time I will bail on my set.
How would you have handled it today?
And also, like before I get to that, it's like normally it's like you have a green room at the back of the room or whatever. This one was sort of like the comics were all sitting like next to the stage.
Okay.
So I was so stupid, I didn't like leave the venue.
Right.
I just went and sat right next to the comics where the whole audience could see my. Yeah.
Okay.
And then today I think I would. Well, first of all, I would probably bail on the dirty jokes if like the first few dirty jokes didn't work. I would do something else. Right. And then like if somebody was offended, I would kind of bring up the conversation like, oh, I'm not here to offend you, I'm yeah. So sometimes people don't understand that. They think like, oh, why is he saying that? Why doesn't he say something like funny and not offensive? But then it's like, tonight it's offensive. But yesterday night it wasn't offensive.
Do you look at the audience and feel like this joke is not going to work with this audience? Do you ever judge your audience when you look at them?
That. But I've also kind of like have nights where I didn't have like a backup plan. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I just wrote this joke today, and I want to do it. So let's just do it, and I'll just bomb and just. And then the audience like surprised me. They laughed at me.
Right. Oh, okay.
So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think it goes back to I remember the three of us we did a doubting show, right? Yeah. With Zul and Max as well, and Sulaiman hosted. And okay, to put it nicely, the audience were a bit on the older side lah. And before the show, I actually invited my brother and all his friends, so I had like 10 people coming to watch me. So I was a bit nervous because would they get my young references, young millennial references? Would they enjoy the dirty jokes? And that was actually one of the best nights I had performing for that year. So I've been surprised so many times that I'm just not going to judge the audience based on their look anymore. I can judge based on the venue. Like if like you go up to a bar where people want to drink and you just go up and do comedy, then you can sort of guess they're not there for the comedy. But based on looks, I'm just gonna stop judging people based on their looks.
Okay.
Tuck, what's your outlook on this?
I always commit to my jokes like recently.
Right.
Yeah, like just 2 weeks ago, there was like this 11-year-old guy. I think you were there also, Nash. Yeah, there was this boy, right, 11-year-old Nash, and he was there, and then with the mom, and then watching comedy. The night had like 7 people like that, 7 to 8. I commit to my sex jokes, just didn't care, and it worked. Like, yeah, everything worked. I was funny.
You told sex jokes in front of an 11-year-old boy?
You will learn a lot today. Have a girlfriend or not? You will find her one day.
I think generally speaking, a lot of the parents who bring their kids to the comedy shows, like or a comedy club, they kind of know like, this could be dirty. Yeah, they're not going there like thinking like, it's just gonna be knock jokes. Yeah, so I think usually it's safe.
Okay. I find that there's some offensive jokes. I cannot tell if the audience is mostly girls.
Yeah, I do agree.
Like I can't do some sex jokes. Like they just kind of like roll their eyes right on the joke. Like, so this is the joke that I have. I'm still working on it, how to actually structure it, right? Which is the only thing I've ever been forced to eat is pussy and durian, right? So that's like the premise of the joke. And then I'm like, because people are weird when you don't eat it, right? Usually somebody gives you an apple or cake, you say, I don't want to eat it, and people are fine. And then, but this one, if you don't eat it, people get mad, right? Because people are weird when you don't eat durian, right? And I realized that when I do that joke, it was mostly girls. They're all gonna like just roll their eyes. I don't think they're offended by it. I don't know. I don't know the way I tell it there. I'm not sure.
Do you think it's them, or do you think it's like you get into your own head and then you don't tell it?
Maybe, but I do see some like I roll sometimes, But when there's a bunch of guys, like there's a bunch of bros, like all of them start to like, like crack up. So I think there are some jokes which is like.
Do you think it's hard to perform to feminists?
I don't know who's a feminist, so that one's a bit hard to tell. But race jokes I find work. Like it's only dirty jokes that I find like. Some might not work, and of course, you tell very Malaysian jokes, mostly foreign audience, they're not gonna get it, lah. Yeah.
My crowd, I think it's like couples,
right?
Yeah, families, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend. Usually, I'm quite comfortable.
Right.
If it's like all single, like men or ladies, young men, young ladies, all single, I find that hard.
Okay, why is that?
Because I do a lot of wife jokes.
Okay, all right. But I think people can relate to that though, even if people can relate to that. Like one day they do plan to get married, I assume, right? I think people can relate to that. Yeah. And what I find sometimes, right, is that I try to interact with my audience a little bit so that it seems natural, right? But sometimes when I interact with, like, especially foreigners, right, they have like a full-on conversation with me. And now I'm like, oh no, this set is gone. This set is gone already. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Two-man show.
yeah. So they're not really
get in and get out, right? Yeah.
Heckled. I think only once somebody got mad at me at a set that I performed. It's a long time ago. I was in Sabah. Chiho was hosting the show. So at that time I was still pretty fresh. So when I did the joke, it was I think it was why do Singaporean girls not like giving blowjobs? It's because in Singapore it's illegal to spit, right? So that was the joke that I gave, right? And there was one guy in the audience who I think he shouted out, "Hey, cool it down," or something along those lines, like cool it down. And then I just ignored him. So I was still in that phase where it's like, something weird happened, ignore. I did not hear, did not see. I don't know. I just continue with my set, power on, So after I get off, Chiho went on, and then he started to have a bit of an interaction with the guy. And then the guy was like, cool with the jokes about Singapore. Don't make fun of Singapore or something like that. Chiho let him have it, lah. It's like, this is a comedy show, So, but I was like, okay, that was maybe like the worst sort of like I guess heckle interaction that I have. Usually the bad ones that happen is that I talk with someone and then, especially if it's non-Malaysian, they have to have a long conversation with me.
Some people, they just naturally are like that. And then nowadays when I host,
Right.
I think many of us do this.
Right.
We say like, okay, you can talk to me.
Right.
Don't talk to the acts because
Yes.
they want to do their material. They wrote that. They wrote it for you,
Yeah.
and they want to try it tonight if it's an open mic night or if it's a weekend show. I'll say like, oh, they wrote this especially for you, and it's really funny. So yeah, just interact with me. And what I've added to that nowadays is I say like sometimes like I give an example. I say sometimes like people want to talk back and then like you're just getting to the joke. I'm not saying anything funny. I'm just like
Right.
telling the way it is, right? So it's like you're just getting to the punchline and then someone is like, yeah, that happened. Right? So that's how I explain it, and they take it well.
Right. Yeah. If you can somehow, if somebody interrupts you and you manage to give a quick comeback, that sort of like aces your
Oh,
set.
the best
Yes.
is if you're about to explain something anyway,
Right.
that's your next line,
Yeah.
and they ask why,
Yeah.
and you just say the
Yeah,
next line
right.
that you already wrote,
Right,
and you
right.
seem like a genius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, we thought that up all by itself in the moment. This is another joke that I wanted to point out, right? So I posted this on my feed here, right? Like 5 reasons why you should attend my show, right? All my dad jokes are upgraded, whatever. And then somebody added joke number 6.
Nicholas looks like Jason.
Nicholas looks like Jason.
I think just this picture, maybe, I don't know.
We have a story about that. You
Oh,
want to tell
really?
that, Nicholas?
Okay.
Oh yeah, so I mean this okay. You have your story for the new jokes night that we did, right?
Right.
And then I have another story where this is a more recent one
Okay.
where I did the Halloween show at the KL Comedy Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, I went off stage. After the show, an audience member came up to me and said, many years ago I saw you at the Crack House Comedy Club. Everyone was laughing. But tonight nobody was laughing. And I said, yeah, tonight I'm out of form tonight. Huh? And he said, oh, so even people in Netflix specials have bad nights. Yeah, he thought it was Jason Leong. And then
You should have asked him, okay, well, you know what? I charge for shows. How much would you pay for a Netflix special comedian? 2-time Netflix special comedian, right? Yeah, there you go.
Make sure you guys come on December
17th.
17th.
but I think I want to embellish that story a bit. I wanna,
Sure.
this is something I haven't performed yet. But I
Right.
want to add like a tag. Right? So I said, I'm not Jason Leong. And he said, oh, so I understand. Sometimes hiding in plain sight is the best way to do it.
Alright.
Then, the bugger thought was Jolo. That's a joke I want to perform.
You're too thin to be Jolo.
Yeah.
That's the compliment I'm going to give you. You need to gain like about 20 kg. yeah. You need to gain like 20 kg and get a double chin, then you can play Jolo.
Yeah, and then I think Sim,
Yeah.
you experienced something, right?
We did this kind of like material testing show.
Right.
So it was in DJ Paramount, and so then like one of my friends came to watch my show. That I was so happy to see her because she's never come to any of my shows in the 12 years that I've done comedy.
Right.
So she came to watch the show, and I was like, "Wow, Yvonne, you're here! Oh, thanks so much for coming!" And I'm like, my friend is finally here to watch my show. And then her husband was there, she was there, they were watching. And then like after during the break, right after Nicholas has gone on, he came to me and said, just now the guy who performed this one, is it? He pointed to the poster, and I was like, yeah, that was Nicholas. Oh, we thought that was Jason on the poster. So I was like, oh, okay, you guys are not really here to see me. Yeah.
Well, as long as they came, right? We don't care. You're through the door, yeah.
Do we still have time to change the poster? Just change my name.
You know what? After seeing that comment, I was tempted to sort of like just make a poster. We cross out Nicholas' name and just like badly write Jason.
Oh, and that was the thing that the mistake we did
Right.
was we didn't put our names on the
Yeah.
poster, right?
Right.
So it was just all pictures.
That was our mistake also. We shouldn't have put the names on the poster, right? Yeah. I would have thought Jason, yeah.
Nicholas, you are in all my shows from now on.
Yeah, I need to find out what baju Jason was wearing for the Netflix special and then just wear the same one. Yeah lah. So, what about you, Tuck? Have you ever been confused for anyone else?
Not much.
Not much. You're unique, lah.
Yeah, too unique. Uniquely unfunny.
You have a very unique face.
I don't know, is it a compliment or
Compliment.
Who I get confused for sometimes. Do you know who Sharizan Borhan is?
You guys have both got the same name.
Yes, you got the same name. Face is different, yeah, but we're both in the voice guild. So we both do voiceovers, right? So sometimes people mistake me for Sharizan Borhan. Like I've come for a recording, right? And they're like, "Where's Sharizan?" I'm like, there's Sharizan here. That's not Sharizan. I'm like, yeah, he is. And then after a while, they're like, are there two Sharizans? And even like I've hosted events, and people were like, oh, when I saw the name Sharizan, I thought it was Sharizan Borhan. And I was wondering, how did we get Sharizan Borhan to host the show? Like, sorry to disappoint you. Yes. Another sort of funny story that is like sort of related to being a Sabahan comic, right? So before this, do you guys know who Phil Wang is?
Yes.
Right.
Kinda know.
So this Matsaba, right? Matsaba, when he first started, I met him, and then he was like, "Oh, I saw your video on Saban community, whatever." Now Matsaba is like a million times more famous than I could ever be, right? So I met him, but the joke up to that point before I met Matsaba was, I'm the funniest comedian in Sabah because I was the only one doing it. One mic stand, I was the only comic, right? And that's the joke that I always was saying, right? And then my mom tells me, hey, she has a friend who she's known for like 20, 30 years. She says, hey, my friend's son is also doing comedy. And I'm like, oh, really? What is he, an open micer or something? Yeah, I think so. And I'm like, what's his name? Phil Wang. So our moms are tight. I don't know. So
His mom is from Sabah.
She's British. His dad's from Sabah. Yeah, but my mom's friends with his mom. Yeah. So and then I looked him up, and then I was like, he was opening in the Apollo Theater. It's like, oh shit, I've never been the funniest comic in Sabah. Oh man, that was the only topic that I've ever only achievement I've ever had.
Funniest Sharizan.
Oh wow, that's narrowing it down. I can't even say that because I don't know if Sharizan Borhan's funny or not. Yeah.
You're funny.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Actually, I haven't met him.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
But you are funny.
Thank you. All of you guys are funny. That's why we do this, right? We think we're funny, and maybe we've got a little bit of childhood trauma. So we can't afford a psychologist, so we talk in front of strangers for validation. Yeah.
We mess some stand-up comedy up.
But yes, all of us are funny. So come and watch our show on the 17th, right?
Yeah, 7th.
It's happening in the house. There will be links somewhere, so make sure you guys watch it. And anything that you guys want to add?
Oh, we're at the end already.
We're about to
ask you, like, how are we doing for time?
Yeah, it's just something a comic always asks, right? How are we doing for time? Oh yeah, well, we're about an hour in, so it's about an hour. Yeah. Sometimes we can extend to like an hour, but an hour seems about right. I don't want to, unless there's we've like opened up a topic on aliens, and we can't stop talking about it. Then okay lah.
What do you think about aliens?
Well, apparently they're real. The whole thing that's been like revealed in the Pentagon or something, right?
We gotta admit that actually we know something. But it was about UFOs, right?
Yeah.
Which means like it could be foreign plane or something.
Yeah.
They don't know.
But they don't call it UFOs anymore, though. You know that, right? Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
UAP.
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 Oh,
Not Malay, Phenomena.
F. Satya Alarm Crowd, come for my show. UAF.
Yeah, UAF. But yeah, I think that maybe this guy called Bob Lazar. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, because I think he was on the Joe Rogan.
He was.
Yeah.
A lot of clips from that.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff of what he's saying seems to be looking like it might be real. Yeah. I just hope if they are aliens, there's technology that's actually useful to us. Like, I don't know, anti-aging, not dying, curing cancer, something like that, lah. You know.
You use more social media,
Oh
some
yeah,
TikTok dance.
yeah. Like even if you like, okay, we can travel like to another planet, right? It's like right now, I don't know if that's completely useful to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Well, we'll see lah. I think it is like leading up to something, but I just hope that before they reveal that they're aliens, I finally complete my book about aliens. Because I got a science fiction book that I'm writing about aliens that is yet to be completed, and if it's not doesn't match what aliens are actually like, then my book's not going to sell. Probably not going to sell anyway, but yes.
GPT to do some.
You're right. I should.
Yeah.
I should. I think it'll come out all in point form, like.
From head to toe. Why there's alien? 3 points. Proof of alien.
Yes.
3 points.
Perfect. All right. Okay, guys. So that's it. Thanks for listening to Popcorn Rants. Hopefully, I try to get these guys back one by one, and then we'll really like dig deep into what's happening. But in the meantime, come to our show. All right, 17th in V House. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Let me ask about the show a bit. So
sure.
Shaz, you're hosting, right?
Yes.
And then 3 of us are performing, 1 of us will be closing.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys can decide who you
You
want.
know, you can ask this question after the podcast.
Yeah.
Chas is wondering, like, oh man, that thing you said about the bullet pointer was like the perfect ending.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, okay, all right, interact with the crowd, and then like.
Oh no, the crowd ask more questions.
Those questions, exactly. Bring it back.
How much were the tickets again?
It's actually 20, but talk to us. Maybe we can even do you a deal. So we'll see. Depending on when you get to us, right? 25 at the door, though. So if you're late at the door, then it's gonna be 25.
Packs of
Which is still
the
cheap.
venue.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's super cheap. Like, what are you gonna get for? You cut 20 ringgit. You can't even get a Starbucks nowadays. You know?
If you can get a Netflix superstar.
There you go. There you go. Right? Or a Netflix superstar lookalike. That's also worth $20, you know.
25, Satya Alam.
Yeah.
And if you know someone who looks like Douglas Lim, Harith Iskandar, tell me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of us don't look like anyone in particular. Somebody has said I look like Aziz Ansari at one point, but I don't know. I'm not
I can see a little bit.
A little bit. Somebody says I sound like Aziz Ansari as well. Sounds, yeah. Really?
Hold on.
Sounds like Aziz Ansari. Really?
A
No, you gotta
little
be
bit.
a lot more nasally.
A bit.
Says, why is this doing here? Aziz Ansari, yeah. Okay. All right. For the last time. See you guys.
Alright. Ciao. See you guys. Bye.